Welcome to the Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to get moving and shape up. My name is Brock Armstrong and I am the Get Fit Guy. You know, everybody wants to get a beach body right now, or maybe run a 10K next month. But can you really get fit that fast? Well, that is what we are going to look at today. So, yeah, everybody wants to get fit fast. But, well, should you? Looking back at my early coaching career, I specialized in marathon and triathlon coaching. I eventually branched out to work with everyone from fitness models to previously sedentary seniors. But consistently throughout my career, people would email or call and ask a seemingly innocent question like,
"How long do I need to train to complete a marathon?"
Now my answer generally alternated between either as long as possible or it depends. Now, obviously, neither of these were the answers that people wanted to hear. Now, more concretely, for someone who's going from the couch to a marathon, I would recommend 10 to 12 months of training. If you already have a solid running background, which I would quantify as being 3 or more years of consistent running, or you simply want to improve your finishing time, well then 16 to 20 weeks could really do the trick. But okay, keep in mind that training for a marathon, well, it isn't the same as training for overall fitness. This equation changes when the question is, how long do I need to train to get fit? Now, okay, let's start with what is getting fit. The elusive condition of being fit is something that I've written about, well, numerous times, and yet I still feel like the definition of fitness is open to discussion. But for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to define fitness as activities relating to keeping healthy and strong, especially through movement. Now, there are a couple of reasons why I like this definition. The first one is that it doesn't contain that loaded word, exercise. And number two is that it implies that fitness is a continuum, not a finish line. Now, before we get into why I think those are important points to make, let's look at some of the science. First, let's look at a short duration study that reminds me of something you would see in an advertisement on social media with a title like,
"The 6-Week Body Transformation."
Now, back in 2004, a study was published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, where researchers put 25 previously sedentary men through a pretty standard 6-week exercise program, where the men either performed 3 20-minute cardiovascular sessions per week or 3 30-minute high-intensity full-body strength sessions. For the study, a group of panelists were actually asked to rate each man's appearance before the beginning of the program. After 6 weeks of training, they were once again asked to rate the photos of the men. Now, can you guess what the panelists said? Well, yeah. After the end of the 6 weeks, their ratings were unchanged. Even the study participants themselves agreed that their own appearance were pretty much the same after 6 weeks. And to top it off, even the more objective signs of fitness, which include things like body fat percentage, oxygen efficiency, and some physical fitness tests, did not improve over the course of the study. On the other end of the spectrum, a 2007 study in the European Journal of Applied Physiology put a group of untrained adults through a 9-month marathon training program. At the conclusion of the study, the participants had increased their cardiovascular fitness, or their VO2 max, by 24%. They'd improved their running speed by 29% and reduced their ApoB, which is a predictor of heart disease, by 18%. So, okay, at this point, we know that somewhere between 6 weeks and 9 months is how long it takes to get fit, at least by some measures. Now, that is a pretty wide window, and you know what? It's about to become even wider. At this point, you may be thinking, well, okay, Brock, but those studies involved some pretty simple-sounding workout programs. If I hit the gym super hard, can I get fit faster? Well, a 2007 study in the Journal of the American Medical Association assigned 360 sedentary, overweight, or obese women to one of three groups. One was exercising at 50%, one at 100%, and one at 150% of their recommended energy expenditure level. Now, after 6 months of doing this, not all that surprisingly, the women who worked out at the highest intensity level improved the most in their cardiovascular fitness, which was 8% boost, while the women who exercised at the lowest intensity level saw the smallest increase in their fitness, and that was just 4%. So, yes, if you work out harder, you will see results faster, to a certain extent. But remember the law of diminishing returns, and the Australian College of Physical Education explains it very well, like this. When someone unfit begins a training regime, fitness levels improve rapidly, but as they become fitter, the returns diminish. That is, as you become fitter, the amount of improvement is less as you approach your genetic limits. So, going back to the study, those same women who saw the 8% increase in their fitness after 6 months will not see 16% after 12 months or 24% after 18 months. Basically, by the time they cease being categorized as sedentary, overweight, or obese, like they were at the beginning of the study, no matter how hard they continue to work out, they will see diminishing results. There's also the problem of the potential injuries that happen at these higher intensities, and I've written about this problem of too much too soon a few times. And there is no example that is better than CrossFit, and that's not because CrossFit is inherently dangerous or poorly designed. It is simply due to its focus on high intensity and the competition style, or what's called 4-time workouts. According to a study called The Nature and Prevalence of Injury During CrossFit Training, 73.5% of people sustained an injury during their CrossFit training. So, yes, training with this type of intensity will get you fit fast, but only if you are in the lucky, or maybe is it smart, 26.5% of the people who don't end up injured. Now, okay, let's go back to the definition of fitness that I stated at the beginning of this podcast, and here is why I think we need to look at the answer to this question of how fast can I get fit in a different light. Now, that definition, again, was activities relating to keeping healthy and strong, especially through movement. Now, to me, the word movement is key. For most of us, the word exercise conjures a notion of dedicated time that's set aside specifically to perform a routine of one type or another, or a workout. Our workouts usually take place in a specific set of clothes, your workout gear, or in a specific environment like a gym. But fitness doesn't come solely from workouts, which take up only a small portion of our time. It's also dependent on all the movement we perform on a regular and consistent basis throughout the day. In fact, not including regular movement in our day could actually be making those exercise periods less effective. In a 2019 study that was published in the Journal of Applied Physiology, researchers showed that 4 days of prolonged sitting actually caused a state that they dubbed exercise resistance. Now, the researchers took 10 participants and had them sit around for more than 13 hours a day, taking fewer than 4,000 steps in that day for 4 days. At the end of the 4-day sit fest, they were asked to do a difficult hour-long treadmill workout. A workout like that would normally result in some healthful metabolic benefits that last about 24 hours. But after all that sitting, the workout no longer resulted in the benefits that we associate with a solid bout of exercise. The researchers concluded that, and I quote, It seems that something inherent to inactivity and or prolonged sitting makes the body resistant to the 1 hour of exercise, preventing the normally derived metabolic improvements following exercise. End quote. Now, this brings me to another important part of my what is fitness definition, and that is the part that says activities relating to keeping healthy and strong. That part of the definition implies that there is no finish line in fitness, that it's an ongoing process. Fitness is not something you achieve and then rub your hands together and say, okay, great, now I'm fit. And I think that people who are interested only in quick fitness or quick weight loss, well, they forget that fitness is a lifestyle, not an endgame. When we're talking about quick weight loss, the lack of meaningful lifestyle or meaningful dietary changes, well, that often means that you're going to regain that lost weight or perhaps even more. And that's one of the main reasons that I co-created the Weigh Less program with my friend, the nutrition diva, Monica Reinagel. Now, in the fitness world, trying to get fit too quickly, well, that usually results in a never-ending cycle of dragging yourself to the gym or dragging yourself to a boot camp or to other bouts of quick fix activities that are treated more like taking medicine than celebrating your body and all its achievements. And I encourage you to look at your fitness journey as a long-term commitment, not something you rush through. Instead of thinking how quickly you can get in shape, think about how long you want to be able to move your body through this world in the ways that bring you joy. Instead of focusing on how little time you can get away with dedicating to your fitness improvement, focus on how much you enjoy moving your body in some new and exciting ways. And in short, as corny as it sounds, focus on enjoying the journey, not on crossing the finish line, because, well, honestly, if you want your fitness to last, there is no finish line. We're in it for the long haul, so make it sustainable, make it meaningful, and make it fun. All right, thanks for listening, everybody, and make sure you tune in next week because we're going to continue along this same vein and talk about how you can build more movement into your day naturally without having to go to a gym or even change your clothes. You're going to like this one. Now, my name is Brock Armstrong, and I'm the Get Fit Guy, and along with the team here at Quick and Dirty Tips, I'm asking you, what are you waiting for? Get out there and enjoy that movement.